Hello and welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. Come on in. Please feel free to sit down. Have yourself a refreshing half glass of fat-free organic milk in a butterfly glass with sparkles. Because this is apparently what happens when I need to do dishes. Sit down and relax. Welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. It's a conversation between friends. It is a look at what it means to be a hardcore gamer discussing the video gaming industry. With me this week on our panel is Neo Sapien.
Hey.
And Burgundy.
Hi.
And Turo or Toad Monkey.
Yay, I really thought you were going to say Princess Leia.
I'd probably stick with the Chun-Li buns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. Respectively, Matt, Dave, and Turo, I am Mark, your host. This podcast airs every Wednesday live. Usually goes up on Thursday onto YouTube and Gamersledge.com. We are meeting across Google Hangouts. This is a fan-supported and listener-supported podcast by fans just like you. Please do like us, rate us, subscribe to us, watch us on YouTube and Twitch.tv. Write in to Gamersledge, balth at Gamersledge.com, or check us out on Geek Chat and let us know what you like, questions you have, or topics that you'd like us to discuss. Let's start by doing a very abbreviated round the room of what we've been playing this week, starting with Toad Monkey. Turo, what have you been playing?
Okay, not so much Marvel Puzzle Quest. Clash of Clans, Watch Dogs, not so much Rayman Legends, because, you know, I beat it. Child of Light. I was trying to beat Child of Light up until Watch Dogs came out, but lo and behold, I didn't. Yay. Well, you know. Wow, what a big surprise. Another game not beaten when another game has come out. I had enough money to buy my Appleton 12-year. Oh, God. So, yay, on that one, we're going to be drinking tonight. Bing. Okay, that's it. Go.
All right, Dave.
Puzzle Quest, Lumines, Watch Dogs, and Transistor.
Great.
Whoa, headphones.
Yeah.
He has joined us in the
That's awesome.
It was actually
Radius era.
this is the thing that it was kind of accidental. How did it happen?
Those are the Sonys, aren't they?
No, these are the Streets.
Oh, those look very much like the new Sony ones for the PS4. Very similar.
They're blue and have the Streets logos. They were a giant sale on Amazon at one point.
Nice.
I got them for like 75% off, and they sound actually pretty good. So, but it was an accident the other week. I think I wanted to like listen to something, so I switched headphones after the podcast, and Neo and I were still talking, and he turned around and said, "You sound really good on these headphones." I'm like, I should probably be using the ones that, you know, cost a bit of money, and not the freebies that are packed in with a phone from 5 years ago.
So now I'm the only one that sounds like...
Dinner's ready.
Yeah, food's done.
Yeah, that's what I get for using the mic on the Mac, that you can hear everything.
There's your mac and cheese.
No, that was last night. That was good.
Neo, what do you been
Nothing.
playing?
It's easy. Nothing. A little bit of Tiny Death Star. That's it. That's all I've played this week.
And I have been playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, a little bit of Transistor, a little bit of Child of Light. I've been playing that new golf game that's out. You guys heard of it?
Golf game?
Called Golf.
Yeah,
Is it called Golf 2014?
It's just called Golf. It's made by a Scottish developer, apparently. I think it came out several years ago. Back. Yeah, something like that. So I've been playing that, and I'm playing that tomorrow, too. That's why I got to leave early in the morning.
So
but more importantly, this week launched Watch Dogs. We have a couple reader questions about Watch Dogs, and I have quite a bit to say about it because I'm in the process of doing my video review for it. But I know, Dave, you have it. Turo, you have it as well, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. We're going to talk extensively about it because the name of this episode of our podcast today is Gamersledge Podcast Season 2, Episode 54, Haters Gonna Hate, but Watch Dogs is still great. Because if you look online, there is an enormous outpouring of hatred for Watch Dogs, and I swear it's written by people who have not actually played the game at all.
There's been an epidemic of that right now.
Yeah, Metacritic reviews are sitting at 54% for Watch Dogs.
Damn.
Holy crap.
I wouldn't put it that low.
That's user reviews, not actual sites that are doing the actual journalism are giving it 8 to 9 out of 10. So it's got a pretty high.
Actually, the Metacritic scores, are they all just on the next gen systems, or are they also, because this game is available for PS3, Xbox 360, and
Correct.
Xbox One and PS4
And PC.
and whatever.
Remember that whole journalistic thing? I'm just saying.
I thought we were just a bunch of fanboys. Sorry.
But yes, so there are. It's out on multiple platforms. But the way Metacritic works is if you go to the 360 page, then you're going to say 360 reviews.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the first question that we have about Watch Dogs are some easy stuff. Comes from Sacred W off Geek Chat. She asks, "Hi guys, my brother just bought Watch Dogs, but I was curious to know what kind of a game it is. Is it free roaming, open world, and is there a character creator so I can make a female character?" Short answer: yes, it is a free open world. You can play the game pretty much however you want. However, there is no character creator, and you are stuck as a mid-40s, I'm going to say, guy, and there's not much you can do about that. The thing I want to concentrate on for a second is you can play the game however you like. So Burgundy, for example, I know he's just going to eavesdrop on people all day and look through their windows.
Okay, that's not going to look through their windows. That was just kind of like people walking around on the street. There's a picture I posted up on Facebook of a screenshot of somebody I found that just got diagnosed with herpes. I really thought that was funny. So this game knows how to hook me from the start, that's for sure.
Turo, what about you? How long have you played it? Because I know Dave's only just started playing it.
Whenever I got it, I told myself just to play an hour, and I must have put in 3 to 4 hours, somewhere around there. And then today has been just, I went to work and then did a bunch of stuff, so I haven't had a chance to play it again. But I've been running around the whole town, or the little area at the very beginning, like crazy. And it is so much fun just seeing, what is it? Whenever there's a crime, I try to go to it every single time. I'm hacking phones, stealing people's money, and at the same time, I'm like, I have to fix this crime. And every time that I find a crime, I'm hiding behind a mailbox thinking, God, please don't see me. And then it says, crime averted, you were seen. But it is hard whenever you're like hiding behind a mailbox like this.
So I had that problem too in the beginning, and I figured out what you have to do is the cameras are everywhere. You have to stay about probably half a block away and use the cameras to monitor the suspects.
Yeah, but sometimes the crime is instant. As soon as it says intercept, the guy shoots the guy that I was supposed to protect.
Yeah, that's what just happened to me.
Yeah, but you don't get.
How are you supposed to?
You don't get points taken away for that. You just don't get extra points for them being okay.
I want those extra points. That's all I want. Some of them are really quick, and some of them take a while. And then the guy who shot the guy is running away, and I go, oh, I'll shoot his knees or legs.
Yes.
No, I shoot his knees or legs, and he's like, ow. He starts running again, and then starts shooting me, and then I go.
Well, that's because you have a sucky gun right now.
Oh.
Eventually, you will be able to take them down very easily.
Is there like a stun bullet gun?
There is not, but there is a shoot much harder and kill you or blow out your kneecaps, whatever the case may be.
Okay, I want that gun. And yeah,
I have a problem with that whole stopping crime thing gameplay. Because I went there on the first one, of course I messed it up, and it's just like, you were seeing the crime's not going to happen now. He's walking away. You don't get anything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I totally just stopped the crime.
That's a neat way of seeing it.
If anything, I would think that's perfect.
I share your enthusiasm for that, yes, but that's not how the game grades you, sadly.
It's like no one got hurt.
No one got robbed. No one got killed.
No one actually committed a crime and has ruined their lives. Yeah, I know.
No reward. Good job for saving the people.
So there are a couple points about Watch Dogs that I wanted to tackle, and I wrote them all down so that I remember all of them. So the game is really being blasted about its graphics. I have sat there and I have recorded more footage for my video review of the sun shining through the L train tracks as I'm walking down the street and also reflecting off the Sears Tower. Just the game is inherently pretty. I'm sorry, I think it's very, very good graphics.
It is, but compared to other things, like other games that I played, the realistic aspect of graphics, it's the character models, not so much the lighting. The lighting is amazing, but it's the character models that I've seen in previous trailers or demos that are incredibly much, like way better than the actual gameplay. Whenever I saw a cutscene between your main character and his sister, it was ugly. But again, the lighting is amazing throughout the game. But
yeah, I've seen some other things like the whole there's no reflections at all in the game. I don't know if you noticed that. That kind of sucks. And
I'm not sure about that actually, because when it's wet, when it's raining at night, I'm pretty sure there are some reflections in the water.
All right, I haven't seen that yet.
no,
But
I haven't seen it either.
I saw some things online. I saw I was in the apartment and I'm wandering around and I do the thing where I check every square inch of every area I'm in. And that's why I never finish games, because I'm OCD like that. And I walked into the bathroom and there's a bathroom mirror there and there's just nothing. You walk in front of it, nothing happens. So the guy's a vampire, obviously. So we have that figured out.
Wow, spoilers, cheese and rice. Just tell the ending.
They didn't say anything about it. I'm just they're just throwing this one a mile away.
I think
I've
it's the
already figured it
vampire.
out.
It's the vampire version of Assassin's Creed's generation, timeline. I think that's what it's. I think that's the ending.
I mean, clearly. I mean, they telegraphed that one really bad.
Okay,
But
okay, let's get back to graphics. Yes.
hold on a second. They did show one online that I actually thought was funny. They had a set of windows that somebody was in front of, and in the windows you saw a reflection of a street behind them, and then the next scene was the person turned around and saw what was really behind them, and it was basically like a chain link fence in an alleyway. So there is reflections of just something completely different.
So you're just seeing into a different world. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's very possible. Actually, there has been a report of a section of the game where a boy is playing Assassin's Creed in the game.
Oh, that's funny.
So I thought that was funny too.
So you're playing a memory of Assassin's Creed.
In fact, I actually found an Easter egg. There are newsstands around the city, and I found a newsstand that had one of the rabbits, the raving rabbits. It's
Nice.
their kids. But anyways, you can hack it and make it go off, and everybody's like, "That thing is just creepy." So that's the first thing. Second thing I wanted to stress: collectibles. Oh my God, they have Pokemon'd everything in this game, and that's a good thing for me. You collect vehicles by getting into them.
Yep.
So in other words, if you don't have that flatbed truck, just get into it, and then it's added to your collection.
I've
You can
started
get 'em
stealing
from-
everything.
You can get them from people's phones too,
Yes, you can.
by
Yes, you
hacking
can.
phones.
But it's so much better just going in an alleyway. I went into a cemetery of all places, and I found this Lamborghini-esque version of their car. I haven't seen any other ones. I just got in it, unlocked it, oh, okay, and then got out, and then just started doing my own little mission that I had. But it is cool. I've been doing that to all of them, and I haven't. The skill tree is really, really different.
Giant. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
giant-sized.
At
So-
first, I was really annoyed with that, and then one of the first ones I found was get into any car without anything happening, and I was like, I like this game.
Yeah, I still do not have that unlocked. I started unlooking everything that they first
Dude,
showed
it
me
takes
on the first
one
branch.
point. Why didn't you do that right away?
Because
So-
the first branch they showed you was the person or your guy stuff fighting.
Your guy stuff.
Yeah, fighting area. And then after I just wasted all my points there, I was like, oh, there's other branches. Crap.
Oh no, I spent all my money in my man cave.
Yeah. That's what happened. So I'm still, every time I get into a car, it's hey, I'm gonna call the cops, and I go, whatever, I'm just gonna accidentally run you over.
So let me quickly.
Wow, this is working really fast.
Spoil a couple. Let me not spoil a couple things, but tell you about some of the future things that you will run into. As we know that there are different nodes that control different aspects of the city. So you have to hack the main CTOS area in order to establish your control over that region. Mm-hmm. Within that, there are towers that you can hack that unlock extra side missions and new types of quests as well.
I found 2 towers. That's
yes. Right, because it's Lord of the Rings, right?
No, there's more. That's all I got.
Okay. So there's lots of different things to do. There are a ton of collectibles for all of it. If you look at the skill trees, they are nuts. There's literally about, I want to say right about 12 different mission types. And to get most of the trophies, you have to finish all of them. So this is going to be a long haul kind of game, not a short haul kind of game to get the platinum for it. That also brings us into my next point, which is the living city. Anyone who thought Grand Theft Auto 5 had a great living city, this blows it out of the water. The people talk to each other. They walk about, carrying on about their daily lives, making phone calls. Just to give you an idea, I happened to find a female that was in a illicit profession, let's put it that way, and I decided to trail her because I was going to see if I was going to GTA her or not. And so I walked around and I was like, well, I could kill her because they don't have souls anyways. But then I thought, maybe I won't. And she stopped at a trash can, pulled out a handkerchief out of her purse, and blew her nose. Then she walked over to a homeless person and gave that person money and then continued on her way down the street. And I sat there and I was like, nobody does anything like that in GTA 5. That is a huge difference. The game really is alive. I pulled a firefighter out of his fire truck because I needed the fire truck for my collection, and my needs are more important than public safety.
Obviously.
So I pulled him out, and he started to dial 911, and I got out of the truck to get the phone away from him. He saw me coming out of the truck and started to run the other direction, directly into traffic, and where he was hit and killed by an ambulance.
Okay, so maybe the AI is awesome, but not awesome.
Well, I mean, which is the bigger threat, me with a gun or,
oncoming traffic?
Well, he didn't see it. He was running away from me and ran blindly into traffic. It was actually hilarious. So, I mean, it's little moments when you stop in the game and see that type of stuff that's really, I think it's that next evolution.
It is neat because I was just driving along and I saw an ambulance starting to go by the other direction, and in my head I go, oh, I better slow down, and then I realized, no, I'm in the game. Why am I doing that? It was kind of, I don't know, it was different. That part was the surprising, whoa, there's stuff happening outside of me playing the game. That was where it surprised me.
The fourth point that I want to make up is engagement, and I think Dave is a good one to talk about this. He just started the game. Dave, how are you engaged with the game already?
I gotta admit, it hooked me a little bit more than I thought it would. Because I was kind of like iffy going into it to pick it up. Like I had it on pre-order, and I didn't get a chance to pick it up until today. And I was hearing all the negative stuff online, and I saw some of the graphic stuff, and I'm like, all right, this game, big pile of hurt, so like maybe I'm not gonna like it at all. And I talked to you guys, and you said, no, it's fun, give it a chance. So I'm like, all right. So I figured, what the hell, I got some gift certificates anyway. So I picked it up, jumped in, was like, first getting annoyed at the loading time because it took so long, and I was just like, oh, I'm wasting money again. Could have got anything else. But then started actually playing it, and I got really hooked by the opening sequence. I love the way they did the storytelling, the style. I love what they do with the storytelling.
Oh, that was so. And it took, what was it, 2 seconds of the whole, not spoilers or anything, because it's going to be at the very beginning, the whole car accident, 2 seconds of that, and you knew exactly where his mindset was. It was awesome.
And I liked even the style of how they do it, like the whole glitchy. Yeah, the whole like glitchy style and everything like that is like part of memory because like that's it's the way this guy kind of thinks because he's like it's kind of like a more current day. It reminds me of like more current day cyberpunk, so I kind of like that. The way they're running with it, I like the way they tell it. I like the voice acting so far is really good. Yeah, I mean it just seems like it just seems good. Once you started playing the game, you start doing little the little hacking things and everything. I mean it's really super simplistic. It's not like you're it's hacking basically like you're
a wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody's picking up somebody else's phone and types of Facebook status. I'm like, oh my god, I was hacked. No, somebody picked up your phone, and that's the way this game works. But it's fine. I mean, because really, it's not fun to sit there and do hacking the real way in games. So, it's the only thing they could do.
I wish it was that easy. I would have so many less money problems if it was just cell phone hack. Oh, I got $200.
Oh yeah, well I've boosted mine, so the least I get is $2,000 now. So.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There were a lot of detractors of the story on GameFAQs. That's one of the places I had started looking for a little help on a couple things, and a lot of the threads say, it's a dumb story. It's another revenge story. And I agree that it puts you in his mindset, and I really think Aiden is kind of a one-dimensional character, sadly. There are a lot of people who said, hey, he's a loser, he's like got to be in his 40s, he lives in a friggin' shipping crate half the time, or a seedy motel, and I think one of the most interesting things that I saw was, this guy, and this is not spoilers, this is in the first 3 seconds of the game, this guy got his niece killed. And yes, he feels responsible for it, but couldn't he honor her memory by actually living a good life and having, love in his life and actually, have a good job and have friends and make the best of his life? No. And I stopped and thought about that, and I think it's a valid point. Because, he took the selfish path. Now, that's what most people would do, is take the selfish path. I have to get revenge. I have to protect them, etc. But, I don't know. It was kind of an interesting... Yeah, it was kind of an interesting thought that maybe he could have honored his niece a different way.
Yeah, but you know something? That would make a really boring video game.
Well, it's called The Sims.
Okay, you see, if they released that game, if they released Watch Dogs, and the whole thing you did in that game was like, buy people flowers
and watch.
It would be him doing IT work the entire time. Be like, well, and then have a picture of his niece.
Yes.
Be like,
so one-third of the game one-third of the game is doing like charts for presentations, for your next budget meeting, and then one-third of the game is like buying flowers for your Aunt Sammy, and then the other third of the game is doing community gardens. I think people would trash that game.
No. A third of the game has to be him sitting at his kitchen table watching the dogs outside.
It's too literal, dude. That's not funny.
Your face is too literal.
Yeah,
all right. The other thing I wanted to point out, online does not work yet for almost anything. The interesting.
I couldn't even sign up right away. That was annoying.
Yeah.
Like it gave me an issue where I tried to sign up and it tried to use your PSN name.
Yeah.
As your account sign up, and it didn't work. And then I tried it a second time, and it said this name's already taken. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think you just didn't let me have it. So I put in something else. And it did the same thing, but then the third time it let me in.
That feels a little bit like Battlefild 4. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is launch day, and there are quite a few people who bought the game. So I mean, that's
not launch day. It's 2 days after launch day.
It's a day after launch day.
This stuff should be figured out by now.
Yeah, come on. Demand. We want it working now.
I am right there with you, but this stuff's going to be
1,000 seconds.
This is going to be the norm from now on, so just deal, I guess.
I don't care. The first thing I did was I made sure it turned off online play so nobody can jump in my game and annoy me.
Well, so that's the interesting thing. Apparently, you have to progress far enough in the story to be able to be invaded. So I have progressed the story only far enough that I could unlock all the skill points for all trees. which happens at a defined point in the story. And from that point on, I've been invading other people's games, but no one invades my games. So I'm apparently not far enough in the story to allow other people to invade me.
So just keep invading people?
Yeah, that's literally... So let's talk about the one of the 4 mini-games that are working right now. There are 4 different ones. Only one of them is working currently. And
the psychedelic one? Was that a minigame?
That is not... That's one of the in-game missions.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. That was trippy.
Yeah, the online minigames, the one that I've been participating in quite a bit, you go into another player's game and you look like an NPC. So how you act determines is going to be part of how quickly they find you.
Okay.
But what you have to do is you have to get within line of sight of them in order to start a hack of their phone. Once you have started that hack, they are aware there is a hacker in their game, but they do not know where. You have 45 seconds to find anywhere within a pretty generous chunk of land around the person to start downloading a backdoor into their phone. Once you do that, the area that you can move in is much smaller. And then over time, the radius keeps shrinking, letting them know the general vicinity of where you are. The best part about this is there's no rules. If you can find a way on top of a building but still be in the radius, then that's completely legal. If you can find your way onto a set of elevated L-train tracks, that's completely legal. If you're inside of a TV truck with the seat pulled all the way back so that he can't see you through the window, that's completely legal.
That's not really fun.
It is though, because they keep narrowing the radius.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They know generically where to look. But one of my favorite things to do is, number 1, hide in plain sight, and number 2, don't move. I can't hide in enough plain sight that they can scan me, but one of my biggest... I'm actually going to do a video for this weekend of all the techniques I use, because I have a pretty good success rate with it. I'm 200th in the world at this point. But what basically I do is I look for either an elevated train track or I look for a gun shop. Because the gun shop has a big counter, and you can get behind the counter, and I just hide on the island, and everybody runs in, scans all the people in the gun shop, and they never look behind the counter. And so, literally, you can watch people doing little Benny Hill run back and forth, and I imagine the as they do it. It's very nice. So that one's working. The mobile app minigame has been working sometimes, but more often not than is. And in that one, if you're on the console, someone's playing on their tablet or phone, and you are racing a predefined path, and they are using all the environmental traps and police to try and stop you before time runs out. And I've done a couple of those, and that's pretty interesting as well. There is a 4-on-4 mode that is not currently working, as well as a tailing somebody mode. Have you gotten online with that, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just, I don't know. I don't want to live in a society or in the age of technology where here's a game and here's all the features. Some of them don't work. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's just it's just launch week.
I know, but still, if they say, yeah, this is all the features, but this is what we could have later on. We will have it later on, and not show it and just say it might be on launch day. It just bugs me a little bit.
Well, it's not like it's not part of the game now. It is true. It's just that they're having server issues.
I know.
They are updating about every 3 hours, saying, "Hey, we've fixed this problem. We're working on the next one now."
I just figured it. It just feels like they rushed the game out if they did something like that. I figured they would have it figured out if they had enough time to release the game.
I just think they didn't do enough stress testing for day one. But no one does, because you can't pay for day one. You can only pay for the sustained lifetime. So I mean, this stuff's fairly normal, and we're going to see it with every major AAA launch from now until the end of time.
Okay.
I mean, Diablo was not perfect day one launch.
No, no,
You
it wasn't.
SimCity was horrible, like month one launch.
You mean
So,
still?
Yes.
Okay.
So I expect this to stick around with us. Anybody have anything else to say about Watch Dogs?
I honestly hope. I want to enjoy this game, but right now I kind of wish I had the disc-based version because I got it as a digital download because I thought it was another online-only game. Only because if I put another 4 or 5 hours into it and I don't like it still, then I'm going to want to trade it in, but I can't. I bought the digital version.
I sincerely doubt that will happen.
Okay.
Wait, you don't like it at all?
No, I do like it. It's just I want more things to happen. I want more things for me to get hooked on. I had really high expectations for this game, and right now it's only met half of them.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I was mentioning earlier, Turo,
Yeah.
is as you start to unlock more of those towers, you're going to unlock more different types of in-game missions. And
Okay.
if you do nothing but stop crimes, you're going to get bored of it really quick. But
Oh,
if
well,
you-
that's just a distraction. I've been doing crazy awesome stuff too.
Yeah, okay. So, but yeah, the point is you'll stop a crime, then you'll do a delivery run, then you'll do, a peeping Tom mission, then you'll do this type of mission, etc. So
And
lots of
I
different
did.
things.
What was the missions where you're the scapegoat? You're supposed to distract the police.
Yeah, that's actually the same type of mission as the delivery one.
Okay.
There are actual subsets of that type of mission.
Oh, okay. That one was awesome. I actually had fun having the cops chase me around and then trap them inside. What are those things called? The posts that pop up.
Oh yeah, the dividers.
Yeah.
That's not the name of them, but yeah.
Well, I did a perfect timing on that one, and there was about 3 cops following me, and I was about at 2 stars. Because I think that's how it works as far as GTA style. It's like it's a little bit different.
It's level 2 versus 2 stars. Yes.
Yeah. I was there and I couldn't get rid of these guys, and I saw the hack for it, and I hit the X button on my controller. It's the X. On you guys, it's the square. Yeah.
Correct.
And I activated it, stopped the cops. I escaped. I leaned back. I hid inside the car, and then I heard over the radio that, they lost him. Oh no. And I got all these points and experience. That was fun. That part was fun, and I want more variety. And what you're saying is that I will get it.
Yes.
So I just need to play more of it. But okay, so it's one of those games you have to invest a little bit to get the full enjoyment out of it.
So just another
that.
one of those weird things, but similar to what you were saying. I was being chased by the cops earlier today, and I have the steam pipe explosion unlocked.
Sweet, yeah.
And the cop was barreling behind me, and I was just in front of him. So when I set the steam pipe off, I actually went flying too. But he went flying onto the train tracks and managed to crawl out just in time for a train to come and wipe the cop car and him out. So, I mean, it's little things that are not programmed but happen on an everyday basis. I really like the variation in the game.
Okay.
So, just FYI, I think you'll be pleased the more you play.
Okay, I'll keep playing it. Again, it is a digital download, which, by the way, did not know this. I pre-ordered the Watch Dogs at GameStop for the digital download version of it. I just wanted the add-on that came with it. It was extra missions and whatnot. And I was kind of upset because I still had to go to the midnight. I just got a code on the receipt, and all it gave me was $60 on Microsoft dollars, points, whatever, to buy the game in the marketplace. It wasn't the actual game. It just gave me $60.
Right, because that's
So-
GameStop's new business model, how they're going to stay alive.
That's annoying. I thought it was the download code for the game, not just $60.
No.
So that was a neat but annoying experience.
Now,
Yeah.
I can't speak to that for the PS4. I did not get the digital download for the game. I did get the season pass through GameStop because it was $5 off. And,
oh, nice.
That
well,
was
it was
an actual.
It was $5 off on the marketplace on the Xbox One already because it was launch day.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
That on the PS4 that did give me a direct download code, so I don't know. If
Okay.
I have a feeling that's just another failing of the Xbox.
Oh, get out of here.
By the way, did you see my cool new shirt? No.
Well, it's not new, but have you seen my shirt that I like a lot?
Nice.
Yeah, but mine's actually from a gaming company, you know. They gave
Well,
it to
mine's from two awesome fandoms, you know.
me. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Whatever.
Do you know what really sucks about the PS4 version though?
What's that?
And this is like a huge failing. It has 60 minutes of exclusive gameplay that's only on the PS4.
Oh, they're gonna add it later.
So that kind of blows that we have to like play more of the game
That
than the
way-
Xbox people.
That's not gonna last very long. What kind of gameplay is it that's gonna last an hour? That's in that one. You jerk. What is it? What have you ran into? What is it?
I don't know if it's like more people's faces to hack and chats to read. That'll be fun.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So the only other thing that we need to discuss before we move on to news is one of the things that launched this last week was Street Fighter Assassin's Fist.
Yeah.
This was a live-action telling of the origins of Ken and Ryu, as well as Goken and Akuma.
Cool.
And it is fantastic. We put a review up on the site for it. We've also linked out the entire series. All 12 episodes, running about 12 to 15 minutes each, are up free of charge, and you can watch them on YouTube now. I highly recommend you do so. The production quality is amazing. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 as a web series rating.
And you didn't even talk about the martial arts.
The martial arts are freaking amazing.
What about the remember that Mortal Kombat series that was
Yes.
going on? Is that the same people? Because that sounds about similar.
I don't think it is the same people, actually.
Okay.
These guys did Street Fighter Legacy, and the guy that plays Ken, I literally could not imagine another person playing Ken.
Wow.
He is the epitome of the video game character.
Although they could have tamed the hair just a little bit.
No, I didn't mind. I thought it was appropriate.
I mean, yeah, it's Street Fighter Alpha Ken, but
Yeah,
I mean,
he's totally got the horse mane going.
Sweet.
he hasn't cut his hair since he got there.
But yeah, it's very well acted. Lots of Japanese, very beautiful, cinematic. The fighting action is great as well, and I think it's the best telling of the story ever.
Oh,
Is it fan made or is it
It is fan-made.
sponsored?
It's
Oh
not-
wow.
Well,
not sanctioned, but it must not be. They must have known they were doing it, but
I have a feeling it's on Machinama's channel, so I have a feeling
Oh,
that they.
okay.
I have a feeling that they sponsored part of the development cost for it, but
Got
it
it.
is a quote-unquote fan-made film, yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So a fan made with help.
Yes. And
Okay,
it's
got it.
very good. Very, very good.
Sweet.
I said, Neo told me about it, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch the trailer. Holy crap, that's the trailer? What's the first episode look like? And then 144 minutes later, I was done with all 12 of them.
so I was going to ask you because I'm no judge of it, but it seemed like the Japanese was very authentic. To me.
It was spot on. And what's interesting is if you listen to some of the phrasing, Japanese is a language that has evolved over time, and there is a class of words that are extremely honorific. Like you would only say them to the greatest master or the president or the emperor of Japan. They use a couple of those phrases in there. I was really impressed with that stuff. So period accuracy as well. So I was it was very cool. It was very cool.
And Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
The part where they get Mega Man 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's good
I
stuff.
don't get it.
Yeah, you will when you watch it. It makes much more sense then.
I don't get it.
A lot more sense.
All right, so before we move to news, let's check in with the readers and listeners and viewers.
Oh my gosh, we're still not done.
Ah.
Stinking readers and listeners, you jerks and stuff.
So we've covered the Watchdog questions. So let's tackle the other questions we have. The first question we have comes from Gaz, and Gaz wants to know, and I'm pulling up.
From Invader Zim? That's awesome.
I don't know if he's from Invader Zim or not. He's actually
Gaz,
from Scotland, so you know.
Gaz was the little sister of what's his face from Invader Zim. Anyway, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, let me pull up the question. All right, here we go. Question for the podcast team. What has been your best personal achievement in a game? For example, mine would probably be completing Panzer Dragoon on the Sega Saturn and getting 100% through the entire game, or of completing the Superman arcade game back in the 90s with a single credit. So what would be your personal best achievements in a game? Since I had time to think about the question, I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Mine was beating all 11 endings of Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo. Because I logged
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I got 4 and then I stopped. I just looked up the other ones.
Oh, no, I totally did the whole... There was no looking... What, did you look it up on Prodigy?
No, after it came out on the DS.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really wasn't an internet back when I did that, so...
Oh, so you did it Orsker.
Right.
Wow. Okay, that is a way better achievement than what my head was saying. I was like, well, that was... whatever.
Yeah, no, I did that the hard way, yes.
All right, hold on.
Matt, did you come up with one?
I have a few.
Not yet, no. Go ahead, somebody else. I'm struggling here.
All right, I'll go. I would probably have to go back to college when I actually had like time to really invest in stuff and not enough money to buy more than one game every 2 months. And I think we're gonna go with what was the last good Mega Man game? It was 8, right?
Yeah, 8 was the best.
Yeah, so that was great. It was I had it on the Sega Saturn, and I remember being able to obliterate that game after a while, and it even had a hoverboard scene in it. You know, where you have one of those like infamous in games where you had to like do the racing thing like through and duck and jump and all that kind of stuff, and memorize the whole memorize the whole pattern and get through it. Yeah, that was probably it. That was probably the last one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because that was, man, that was the heyday.
I don't know. It's either when I finally got past Bloody Mouth and the Ninja Gaiden for the NES, but I never actually beat it. That was as far as I got. It took me forever to get past that guy. Or getting to a point of mastery of Mega Man 2 where I could beat the entire game without a continue.
I would probably go with the Mega Man 2 if it were me.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the one.
Actually, if we want to go really far back, anybody remember the game Jumpman on Commodore 64? I could play levels in that with my eyes closed.
No.
Oh gosh.
And win. That's how good I was at the patterns on those damn games.
Turo, it's down to you.
Ah, jeez.
Just pick a game you actually beat.
There's a bunch of games I beat. Gosh. I think the hardest one that I can remember. Ah, jeez, nice. Can I say 2 of them?
No, pick your best one. Best one.
Oh, my best one. Okay, this one was way harder than the other one. Dead Space 2. You had to beat the game with 3 continues, or 3 save points. I did it. That took stupid long time. It was the hardest setting. You only had 3 saves. That was... My brother didn't even get it. My brother had all the time in the world back then to get any and every achievement. and he couldn't get that one, and I got it. So that's got to be it. I forget what the achievement's called, but my gosh, that was so freaking hard. That's got to be it. That one, yeah. Beating Dead Space 2 with 3 game saves and getting that achievement. Yeah.
Awesome, Gaz. Hopefully that answers your question. The last question we have is from Destiny. Destiny wants to know which games from the past would you really like to see given the HD treatment? Personally, I would love to see Thunder Force 4, a remastered version, similar how they did the Sonic CD. And I'd also really like to see Thunder Force 6, which was a PS2 game and sadly never made it out of Japan.
Okay, I really like the Thunder Force series, so I'm really liking this question. That's a really nice one. I actually have the soundtrack for what was the one that was on the Saturn? Was it on Saturn? They released this. I think it was it Thunder Force 5? And they had like some soundtrack. It was like a deluxe CD, double CD set that had like a soundtrack in it and everything. Oh, that was good. Let's see. For mine, I really want to see. I really want to see Castlevania Symphony of the Night done in glorious 1080p HD, hand drawn, just looking awesome.
They did do a remake in HD. It was on the Xbox Live Arcade. I figured it'd be on the PlayStation Store.
No, it wasn't a remake. That was a whole new game, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was Symphony of the Night, all done in HD.
No, don't think so.
Yeah,
no, it was a.
No, I thought it was a new game.
Hold on.
It was a new game that had like multiplayer in it.
Yeah.
It was Super Smash Brothers a la carte or something.
All right, well, he's looking that up. Matt, what about you?
And this is damn it. Primarily, I have one that I really want that I played, and I have one that I really want that I didn't play. So I'm kind of torn.
Well, stop being Natalie and Bruglia and pick one.
Now you're gonna make me break into a song, and that's just gonna scare everyone away. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with Legends of Dragoon because I didn't ever get around to playing it. And that game has gotten nothing but rave. I still own it. I have the original PS1 discs sitting over there. So I mean, it's not like I couldn't play it, but I think if that would get an HD redo, and my honorable mention would go if they could actually go back and finish off and make Xenogears right, but keep it with the style that it had. But
see, that's my problem, is that there's all those good Square Enix role-playing games that I'd like them to up-res and bring to HD, but I think I'm going to go out on a limb and go for an obscure set of titles, actually. What I would really like is a HD collection of Parappa the Rapper, Jammer Lammy. And
why? When there's so much better rhythm games now, why would you go back to that?
Because the classics are the classics, baby.
Oh man,
I have a news story for that, but
those make my thumbs hurt.
They are so good.
Yeah, they are.
I really would love to see.
I think that's where Harmonix started.
5.1 surround. You know, we didn't have that on the PlayStation. And so I would love to have that in glorious 5.1, 7.1.
I remember playing it when they released it for like the PSP or something.
Yeah.
And because like I never had it, and I was just like, oh, let me check out this game. I was like, everybody raved about it, and I played it for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
I still have the original PS1 discs for both those games.
Punch, kick, it's all in the mind.
It's kick punch.
I could never get the timing down on those things. It had some ridiculously weird.
See, that was my actual runner-up for my most proud, because I got the cools on all the levels.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, that's amazing.
That actually is pretty.
It took a long time. But
because I could not figure out, because whatever was happening on screen didn't match what they actually wanted.
It's called player lag.
Although I do think the download versions, because I played the download version of Unjammer, and I think the timing is different. I don't know if it's because it's the download version or what it is, but I think it is different from the discs. So I think those download versions that came out for the Vita and the PS Playback or whatever those were called, PS Classics, I think the timing is different.
I don't know about that.
It was always hard, but I mean.
All right, so Turo, we need your answer.
Okay, well, I found the answer for Symphony of the Night. It was just a port to the Xbox 360 arcade.
Okay.
So it's just a port. It wasn't an HD version of it.
Yeah, that exists.
Yeah. I thought it was an HD version of it.
That's typical Xbox people trying to embellish their system.
Yeah, well, hey, you remember that game that you didn't play whenever you didn't have a PS1? Here you go. Anyway, that's pretty much it.
So what would you like to see brought for an HD remake?
An HD remake. Well, because the graphics were terrible back then whenever this game came out, Watch Dogs, that'd be... Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's the reaction I wanted.
Do not encourage the monkey.
That's what I wanted. No,
do not pet where
That was good.
Oh, that's all I wanted. Thank you, sir.
That was great. That was great delivery.
Whew. No, in all seriousness.
You earned your paycheck this week, sir.
Yay! I cannot wait to see it in the mail.
Oh no, it'll be ACH direct deposit into your account.
Oh, get out of here.
All $0.00.
Negative $10.
When did you get my routing and transit? I didn't.
Well, darn it. Let's see. I think only because they released or announced a sequel that never came out, and I absolutely love this game for the system that everyone didn't like, which I loved, Eternal Darkness for the GameCube.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely love an HD version of that, and its unannounced, super awesome, rumored sequel. Yes, please.
You are so my favorite person in the world right now.
Hooray! I thought I already was.
Roman in it?
No, I was just thinking about that game today because I had some random thoughts about Brian Blessed. Because I was thinking I kind of am trying to run my life of making sure I do things to where I'd hear Voltan behind me say, "Impetuous boy!"
Nice.
Dude, you have it handy like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love this game. It's one of my...
So good.
I loved it. I could not believe some of the parts that it messed with me. Flipped the room upside down, and I honestly thought this was part of the game, and then things started... It messed with me. It was so good. So good.
I remember one part of the game where it was just...
ahead of its time.
It just, faintly in the background, you just heard somebody being, beaten, and, this, voice just begging the person to stop beating them, and they just didn't make a thing out of it. It was just kind of, just in the background, just a little bit. You could just barely hear it. Oh, so creepy.
I love that it all come together.
That's Neo's house on any Google Hangout if you listen hard enough.
That's what I want to see. I want to see that in HD. I want to see the rumored sequel coming out to answer and to give all the fans what they wanted back then. Not very many of us exist, but I do want it. My gosh, yes.
You know something? That game was actually fun to play too. Everybody crapped on it because of Roman Guy because it looked so horrible. Everything else in that game was actually awesome.
It was awesome, and it was a bunch of stories that came together as one at the end, and you didn't see that, and it was awesome. Oh, spoilers, my bad. You guys are gonna ever play it. It was really
the magic system in it. No, oh god,
it was awesome.
I still have a GameCube hooked up to a TV. I'll tell you.
Okay, then go and play it.
Go track down the game for $2 and play it.
It's not $2. I think it's rare now. Hold on.
It's not rare.
Really?
Nobody bought it.
Yeah.
That would make it more rare, actually. I'm just saying.
Rare.
Yes.
A bunch of copies were buried in the desert. Oh wait.
Nice.
Shut your mouth. That was awesome. Let's see.
All right. So while he looks that up,
$20.
not that rare. No. Let's jump into the news. We have a grip of news this week. We'll start with 2 Nintendo stories. Number 1, Nintendo is planning a YouTube revenue splitting affiliate program. So basically, everyone has been up in arms because Nintendo is claiming every gameplay scenario where their footage is used on YouTube. And they have announced today that they will allow for Google to take a slice, Nintendo to take a slice, and then the Let's Play people to take a slice as well. No real details on it other than them announcing this, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out. I still think it's going to be a very unpopular system, so we'll see. That's the first piece of news for Nintendo. The second one is the crazier one. So last week, the Wii U outsold both the PS4 and the PS3 in Japan.
Where?
Oh my, what?
So literally, for the week May 19th through the 25th, it's the first time the PS4's Japan, since the PS4's Japan release, that the Wii U has had better weekly performance than it, and it's the first time in a long time that it's been ahead of the PS3. It's not really that it's picked up in sales, the Wii U. There was a slight bump for Mario Kart coming out. Mario Kart 8 releases on Friday of this week, but Sony's console has really been struggling in Japan since launch. Just 7,387 PS4s, 7,383 PS3s sold, and the Wii U sold 8,858, which is a slight increase. So it's not like they're blowing them out of the water, but it is the first time that the Wii U has outperformed those two consoles. The other interesting part of that coin is where the actual sales are, and that's mobile devices in Japan. Last few weeks, the 3DS and the Vita have topped the hardware sales charts, and that's good news for Sony for the Vita moving so many units, but still not sure what they're going to do to change their course in Japan since they're having so many struggles. I'm wondering if Japan has simply moved on from console gaming.
Wow. And just went to Wii U and PC gaming?
The handhelds and mobile. I mean, isn't
that
thing over there is mobile?
Yeah, mobile in the handheld space, that's where it's all at in Japan right now.
Man, that's how they're going to win. That's how Microsoft is going to just skyrocket if they have an Xbox Live Arcade handheld, like I said before. Man.
If they have that, it's called the Zune, right?
Get out of here! You said that last time. Come on.
But they're not.
This joke's
I thought it was the Surface 3.
No.
At $2,000.
Get out of here. I saw it for $700. What is that thing?
That
thing? That's the Schnauzer.
Oh, Schnauzer.
The Schnauzer. He says, that's ridiculous, Raggy.
Oh, boy.
It's like New Sapiens. Channel bubble became 20% cooler.
Anybody else have a news story they want to interject at this point?
Oh, sure.
I thought I had one. I forgot it.
Let's see. Harmonix's shooter.
Oh, darn it! That's what it was.
Chroma.
I remembered. Oh wait, no, that's not what it was. Never mind. Keep going.
Okay. So Harmonix kind of threw everyone for a loop a while back by announcing that their next game was going to be a first-person shooter that was based on music, and the game was called Chroma. It's gone through the early alpha phase, and they had some people helping them out with that and doing it internally, and they came out with, maybe we need to rethink this a little bit. So the game is not canceled. They have just gone back to formula, so to speak, to figure out where they've gone wrong, where the tweaking needs to happen. They've taken all the feedback from the alpha testers and from their own gameplay, and they're heading back to the design to figure out how to fix the problems that were discovered. So it's still going to happen, it looks like. It's still something they're looking forward to producing, but the first go at it didn't come out so well. So it still sounds like they're committed to it, and they're looking forward to trying to do something with this.
Excuse me.
Holy cow! Are you dying or guffawing?
I was an alpha tester.
Oh, you were an alpha tester. Oh, yeah. Look at me. I was an alpha tester. So your input was highly valuable, whatever that was. So, all right, Mr. Alpha Tester, I'm awesome. Whatever isn't covered under your non-disclosure agreement.
I can't really talk about much about it other than.
Oh, look at me. I'm an alpha, but I can't talk about it.
Well, you do have to actually sign a non-disclosure agreement.
I'm sure you did. That's why I put it out there.
It's a very interesting concept. I'm not actually supposed to talk about the fact that I'm in the alpha either, but I think I'm all right. It was a very interesting concept, and I played quite a few matches of it, and I thought it was fun in concept, a little harder to pull off. That's the best way to say that.
Yeah, which is pretty much consistent with what the article was saying. So, there's that. So we'll be looking for probably another alpha here in a few months, I would be guessing.
And then Turo has a piece of piggybacking news about their Kickstarter, don't you, Turo?
Yay! Yeah. Amplitude at the last day or days?
Hours.
The last
seconds.
They pulled through, and they are going to be able to make a remake of Amplitude.
And anybody who says social media does not make a difference in business would be wrong, because that was a Twitter campaign that rallied support to get the funding they needed at the last minute.
And that was awesome. And those were the first games that got me toward harmonics and gaming with music. No, it was Parappa the Rapper. It really was, actually. But that one really escalated. That one just shot up, even though it wasn't popular. Amplitude and Frequency. And it was my brother's fault. He borrowed them from a friend, and we played it, thought it was cool, and then we didn't stop playing it until we saw the sun the next day. It was that addictive and cool, and the multiplayer on it was awesome and simple and fun, and it lasted hours. So seeing it come back, I cannot wait to have my brother over and do it all over again in HD with new songs or old songs or all over. Right. It's going to be awesome.
I'm still bitter about the whole thing, so we're not going to talk about it.
Why are you bitter about it?
We already ran into this, how I was telling everybody about this cool game called Amplitude, and then when Frequency came, it was Frequency then Amplitude, so I was like, I really love Frequency, and then when Amplitude came out, I really tried to get people to play it. Nobody wanted to play it, and all of a sudden you had a stupid plastic crappy guitar to it, and everybody thinks the game's awesome.
That's how I felt about Guitar Hero. Again,
screw everybody.
I was like, no. It's the same people that made Amplitude, and people go, huh? I was like, no, here's a plastic guitar, play it. And then people play it, and they say, this is stupid. Then Guitar Hero 2 came out, and everyone says, wow, this is amazing. And I tell them, don't you remember me trying to let you play it on the controller? And then whenever the plastic guitar came out,
everybody wants to be a rock star, dude. Everybody wants to be a rock star.
I never played it with the plastic controller, so I mean, and for all intents and purposes, Rock Band, what was the name of that one? Standalone.
Blitz.
It's called
Rock Band Blitz. Yeah, that was
the coolest thing.
It was Amplitude. I mean, it really was Amplitude. So.
And
I have
before
it.
that,
I got it.
The PSP version of Rock Band was basically Amplitude too.
It was indeed. So, speaking about PlayStations, segue. PlayStation.
Remember we used to have sound effects? Remember those days?
Yeah, I do. Well, those don't work with Google Hangouts, so.
Yeah, I know. Google, work on that. Dang it.
PlayStation 4's fall lineup got just a little bit thinner this week, as the Order 1886 has been delayed to 2015.
There went one of my stories.
Ready at Dawn's PS4 exclusive shooter slips its release window, and it will appear somewhere around February of 2015, according to the PlayStation blog. Not very surprising. When
I was just at GameStop, and I went to throw pre-order in after I made my purchase today, and I'm looking at the half sheet of paper of pre-orders that are available till the end of the year.
That's how ridiculous this new next current gen of console things are, man. I don't know what to call it. I honestly don't know
Want
what
to
to
make a
call it.
cohesive statement there, maybe?
Stupid man head face thing.
The Xbox One and PS4, they're pre-orders. They're very tiny. Wow, see, it's working very well. I've missed this stuff very much. They're pre-orders. There's not much of them, and all of them, most of them, are in 2015.
I love how we rotate our drinking schedules, by the way.
I got my 12-year back. It's awesome. Not 12-year-old. 12-year. God.
I'm with you, dude. I appreciate
You're the
it.
12-year-olds. You're loving the 12-year-olds.
I don't think we can talk about that. This is a family.
I think we left the family thing behind a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Other news: EA has let leak and now confirmed the next Battlefield game. Hopefully it works. Called Battlefield Hardline.
Oh man.
Instead of being a war shooter, it will be a cops and robbers game.
Nope. They have to make another Bad Company game if they want to get their fans back.
What's interesting is that the studio behind Dead Space is handling the single player side of things. With DICE, yeah, with DICE taking up the multiplayer duties.
He said duties.
Duty.
It's duties.
So, a 7-minute gameplay video was posted this morning under the codename Omaha, and it described heist, rescue, hotwire, and blood money multiplayer modes, as well as a single-player campaign that revolved around police corruption and a drug cartel. I'm guessing the Mexicans will have something to do with it because, you know,
Tequila.
Turo.
Bum, 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 bum.
So that's that.
It's not really tequila. It's Jamaican rum. Yeah, man.
Let's see. For those of us on the podcast, I think all of us, except maybe a certain monkey, have played Flower.
No, I play Flow.
And Journey. And so those of that we're familiar with the game company, that's name is That Game Company. See what I did there? That wasn't funny. So they announced today that they have entered a partnership with Capital Today, which I'm assuming is a venture group, to get $7 million to work on their next project. And since their exclusivity, big word, period with PlayStation is over, presumably it will be a multi-platform title, and their description of it is an emotionally engaging experience centered around human connections for players of all ages and backgrounds. Wholly interesting.
They have been working on this title for a while. They just didn't have the funding to actually do the distribution rights, etc.
Right, because they're working on setting up their own distribution and publishing and stuff.
Yeah, so that'll be very interesting. I'm very interested to see what they do with next-gen consoles.
Yeah, Journey was just
Amazing.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Ridiculous good or ridiculous bad?
No, ridiculous
awesome.
great. It was amazing.
Okay.
It was, yeah. If you haven't played Journey, you still have your PS3, you should look into that. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's oh man, I love that game so much.
Okay.
In other EA news, it looks like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare is coming to PlayStation Network.
Hooray!
Teaser site from EA shows pictures of the Garden Warfare characters in crossovers with Sly Cooper.
Wow.
So it's Fly Shooter.
but
I didn't make it up. I'm just reporting the news here, folks.
He made it up.
So did you guys see the announcement on the PS blog today that Sony is going to be putting its E3 show in theaters across the United States?
40 theaters to be precise.
Oh, wow.
Very, very, very few number of theaters. I didn't even look to see if any of them were near me because I'm sure they aren't. So
You live nowhere.
Actually, I believe there is one close to you. There is not one close to me, surprisingly.
Is there one close to me?
I know there's one in Kansas City, and then I think the other one, they actually had two in Missouri. I think the other one's in Fulton.
Yeah, no.
Not close to you. In Wisconsin.
None in Michigan or Minnesota either. Closest is Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago is the closest to me, and for me to go, I'm already going to be watching all of them. I would lose any benefit from him traveling to Chicago because I would then miss some of the other press conferences. So
yeah,
they are saying they're going to give away free goodies and prizes, and you can watch it for free.
And the tickets are free, yeah, so you just got to register for your site.
Wow.
Man, if I was still in Anchorage, I know exactly where that Cinemark Anchorage 16 is. I went to there all the time. So if I was still in Anchorage, I'd be going.
The other interesting thing about it is they're promising 30 minutes of exclusive content, including extended game footage and developer interviews. So that's interesting. If, like I said, if it wasn't 4 hours away from me to drive, I would probably go do that.
Yeah, it's 4+ for me. So. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. I mean, I've wondered why they haven't done stuff like that before. So it's interesting to see them picking up with us. And then Burgundy's got one more story.
Go, Burgundy.
I do?
Yeah, your great disappointment of the day.
No, you're the game you're absolutely excited about.
Had something to do with Beyond?
And not the podcast, but...
Oh, that one. Yeah, supposedly there's some new Batman game coming out.
It's called Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham.
And it doesn't have Batman Beyond in it.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that. We don't know that. You can't say that.
Although they did release a picture on like Instagram and social media, like they're on their feeds, that actually had a Lego Batman. Oh God, I'm gonna mispronounce it. That Zoronarg one. Zoronarg. Oh God, I'm forgetting it right now. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
That's a really weird looking, super colorful one that's like from way back in the day, and they re-brought it out in one of the series, and it was like supposedly this like mental fail-safe persona he built into his psyche to save him in an emergency.
No idea.
You've
I've read a lot of Batman. I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, never mind. There's a big like throwback that the guy was using during that whole big storyline that everybody freaked out over.
Okay then.
Really? Seriously? Batman of Zoronarg?
No. You've outgeeked us.
It's like the purple, yellow, weird-looking suit.
What?
They brought it in the cartoon Raven the Bold one time.
Silver claws? Does it have silver claws?
Did he have the claw?
No. It's not the Asbat one.
Well, no, I knew it wasn't the Asbat one, but I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
Hold on. Does
he look kind of like a gypsy wearing it?
Yeah. Batman of Zoronarg. Hold on. There's images of it here.
Spell it?
Batman of Zur, Z-U-R, -E-N, -A-R-R-H.
Okay.
Zurner.
Okay, I think this is...
What in the world is this?
Nope, never seen this in my life.
You have to be kidding me.
Is Zurner... Is that like our...
Never seen this in my life. That is... He's basically got Catwoman's cowl.
He's very spiky.
He's very... That's a word?
Even his bat symbol is spiky. His belt is spiky.
Yeah,
His shoulders are spiky.
Nope, never seen that. You got me.
What in the world?
Oh, well,
wow,
dude.
I'm at a loss because I'm pretty good about keeping up on story arcs for characters. Is this newer?
Like what, 5 years ago at this point?
No.
Maybe?
Oh yeah, so that's newer. Okay.
His first appearance was 1958.
No, it's not like that part like the whole Batman
but
Zoronarg is
that's
not new.
probably for one book.
Right.
Yeah, they really went to the well for that. But the thing is, they actually incorporated it into the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon series as well. They had
Superman
there.
of Planet X.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
he's
voiced by
actually
Kevin
from
Conroy.
another planet.
Yeah. And he's voiced by Kevin Conroy in Brave and the Bold. That's
Yeah, it was
awesome.
really cool.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Yeah, but he is not Batman. He is a different Batman from a different planet.
In Brave and the Bold, yeah, but then they did something different in the comics for... You have to read it, dude.
Okay.
It was very complicated.
Whoa.
I get that. All right, then.
All right, I win. All right. So
win.
they had a Lego version of that in the... I thought
win.
that was cool. But no Lego Batman Beyond.
So the other things we do know about the Lego game is that there will be over 120 different characters to play and unlock in the game. It will see Batman join forces with the superheroes of the DC Comics universe to prevent evil Brainiac from destroying the Earth. And he is using, this is where it gets interesting for me, the power of the lantern rings to shrink worlds and add them to his twisted collection of miniature cities from across the universe. The superheroes must journey to different lantern worlds to collect the lantern rings and stop Brainiac before it's too late.
Okay, this sounds like this is a Lego game, right?
This is a Lego game.
Okay,
to me,
all right.
It sounds like they're going to introduce the color spectrum for the lantern rings.
All right, it sounds like a Lego game.
It is a Lego.
Sure.
It is a Lego
Okay,
game.
all right, perfect. Just making sure. That's awesome.
The game will feature locations that they've disclosed so far, including the Hall of Justice, the Batcave, and Justice League Watchtower.
Now I'll just be waiting for my Lego Mogo set. That's his name, right? Mogo?
Mogo?
Okay, I'm butchering the name. The one that is rather large and spherical.
Oh.
Wait, you talking about the lantern?
Yeah. No, he's talking about the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're saying it right. I just wasn't making the association.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Mogo, the living planet. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Who is a Green Lantern?
He is a Green Lantern, and that would be awesome if they made a Lego Mogo, but I doubt it's going to happen.
Oh, you basically got the Death Star set. It's not a huge mod from there.
Yeah. Anybody else have any other news?
Oh, you've run me dry, my friend.
Oh, we're going to the gay territory again.
Well, did we want to talk about Ant-Man at all?
Oh yeah, that's sad news.
Sure,
No,
go right ahead.
I don't want to.
I don't want to either.
Well, I'm gonna butcher everybody's name here because I don't know how to pronounce any of these things. But
Edgar Wright.
well, I assumed I was hoping that was right, and somebody just told me how to pronounce Kevin.
You hope that was right?
Is it Feige?
Up.
Somebody was it Feige?
Yeah.
Kevin Feige? Is that how it's pronounced?
Correct.
All right, so it was announced a couple days back that the early on director and co-writer of the script for the Ant-Man movie for the Marvel Cinematic Universe had quit, dropped out, packed his bags and gone home, and was not going to be directing or any longer involved with the Ant-Man movie. The news came in bits and morsels as things do because these days we have to know something happened right away and then a bunch of people make conjecture about it and then slowly the facts trickle out. But what it looks like apparently happened is that the script was required to have some changes to match up with the larger Marvel universe because remember this movie was first commissioned in 2006. And so this thing's been brewing for quite a while. And originally, all the stuff that had happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe hadn't happened yet. And with, the hashtag It's All Connected, there were some modifications that were requested to be made to the script. Wright either did or did not make them or made them in some way that annoyed the studio. And originally it was announced that Disney writers, not Marvel writers, but Disney writers had gotten their hands on the script, rewrote it, sent the draft back, and Wright threw his hands up in the air and said, "Peace out, bitches."
To which Joss Whedon supported.
Which Joss Whedon supported. But now here's here's my first.
Yeah, that was a great.
My first reaction was fear, and not that Wright had left, but that somehow Phage and Whedon had gotten skipped in all of this. I mean, if these guys are in control and in charge of this, how did they let it get to the point where people above or beside, however you want to look at the Disney studio, and their writer, how did they not stop it in the middle? How did they not mitigate this? How did they not manage that? And if they're starting to lose control of it, that scares me, because that's when things are going to fall apart, is when those guys can't keep control of it. But now today we get news that Phage may have been in fact the one who asked for the revisions to the script. Again, that's not confirmed. It didn't come out of his mouth. It's just the latest thing. For whatever reason, this Latino review site seems to come up with all of the breaking stuff on this stuff, and it generally found out to be more or less accurate. So not sure what in they've got with stuff, but they've got some in. And if Disney/Marvel ever finds that mole, they'll probably put them up on a spike and leave them to hang for all to see. But so that just makes the story more interesting. And I get it. I understand. Edgar Wright has made his own movies. They've been his own stories. He's had complete control over them for the successful part of his career. He gets hired on to do this. The franchise gets huge. Now you've got to put in those hooks to connect it to everything else, because it's part of a larger story now. I get he didn't like that, and he didn't like people messing with his script, and he walked out on that, which it's his right to do. Get it there, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I mean, even Kevin Smith came out with a statement yesterday. It's Marvel's movie. It's a licensed product. You signed on to make a movie for them, not make your movie. So, and that's the thing that kind of, this has been a childhood dream of his to make the Ant-Man movie or whatever. Okay, but when you've got somebody that's vested in their vision of it, and you're working with a studio who owns the license, yeah, I'm surprised this didn't happen earlier, to be honest. But I think with the success of Winter Soldier and integrating with everything, and how all the stuff's connected, and how they're working to tie everything together, I think it just got to a point where it was, hey, we've got to include this in the larger universe, so we need these things in it. And there's still a failure of leadership to me there between Phage and Whedon. If they're in charge of this should have been handled at their level, and they should have figured it out. It shouldn't have come down to some outside source.
We don't know for sure that it...
we don't.
It's speculation. We don't know for sure that it wasn't from Whedon and Phage.
We don't, but that would make the whole solidarity thing seem really weird.
That would hurt if it came from them.
Well, at the same time, though, I agree with what Matt's saying. If you need to thread it into the larger universe, and Wright didn't want to do that because he just wanted to concentrate on his Ant-Man movie.
But they couldn't they have asked him and said, hey, I know you've been working on this for years, or I don't know how many years, but stuff has happened. Can you incorporate this stuff into your story? If not, then
I'm guessing that's actually how it went down.
That's what the original report said, is that they asked him to make the changes, and he made some attempt at them, was the wording of the article. So my guess is he half-assed it or did some snarky sideways take on it and pissed somebody off. So they said, fine, screw you, we'll do the changes.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the few people who say, yes, it's not what I wanted, but I'm not concerned about it.
I'm not concerned yet, no.
They have a pretty tight ship running over there, so I'm not worried about it.
Speaking of it, right?
Positive news, they've cast Daredevil, and they've got a pretty good guy coming in to do both the acting and the directing on that. So
good. Hey, Turo.
Yeah.
Are you still playing Titanfall?
Yeah. I downloaded the new levels and I play. Oh yeah, I played Titanfall. My bad. Sorry, Watch Dogs kind of overdid that because it was a new game.
Well, it looks like EA and Respawn will be unveiling a new mode and a handful of upcoming features for their flagship shooter at E3.
Or the re-releasing of an existing mode that they later canceled?
No, that's happening too, but this is a new mode. If you don't have an E3 badge but will be in the downtown LA area, you can get hands-on time with all of the E3 content during the NVIDIA Gaming Expo.
Nice.
You'll be able to play the new content there, and you can also win real-life burn cards, NVIDIA graphics cards, and enter other
cool.
giveaways that they have. But then they're also doing stuff for fans at home to win prizes as well. Personally, I think there is nothing sadder than a game that's out trying to be participate in E3. That has always struck me as weird because E3 is the time that you showcase upcoming projects, not things that are already out.
What about upcoming downloads or DLC or add-ons? They've done that. Other games have done that before.
Yeah,
Not actually showing their game, but stuff that they are going to add later on to a game. I mean, that's the age that we live in right now, is adding on to games, DLC to games, adding more storylines to game, Burial at Sea, Burial, whatever. It's
Warcraft.
And World of Warcraft. That game came out
20 years
how long ago? Seriously.
And when's the last time you remember reporting a DLC expansion for Warcraft at E3?
Well, it's going to be more.
They did Pandaria, didn't they? Wasn't Pandaria announced? No, that was announced at BlizzCon.
It's always at BlizzCon because
it's always at BlizzCon. You're right.
You don't generally. I can't think of very many games that we've seen, other than Diablo being the one exception because it was coming to consoles.
Right. Yeah. Diablo 3, the console version, was at E3.
But other than that, I can't really think of just DLC for an existing game that we've seen reported on at E3. It's always the new properties that are in E3's domain.
Maybe they're just taking advantage of free publicity. Like maybe they didn't have to pay for it. Maybe they said, "Hey, you have some free time. Do you want to show anything?" I'm still betting we'll see an announcement of Titanfall on the PS4. Really? Okay. That'd be cool. I want that game to go everywhere.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to because I think their sell-through rate on the 360 was not what they were or the 360 and the the Xbox One was not what they were expecting it to be.
And I want that. I want everyone to play that game. It is awesome.
I'm interested if they bring it. We'll see. Hideo Kojima thinks that E3's Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer is going to be too tough to watch.
So is there going to be raping scenes?
I don't know. Hideo Kojima is garnering for attention for his irrelevant game Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, there it is.
That's how I feel. I hate these announcements about nothing. Hey, we're gonna have an announcement.
What are you talking about? Every year that there's been a Metal Gear trailer,
that's my point.
Game of E3.
That is my point.
So every time they show a movie from it, it gets game of the show. I always thought the rule had to be that you had to have a playable game at the show in order to get that award, but apparently that's never the case.
This is why I never was into Metal Gear Solid. I never could.
The series was dead after the first game.
Yeah, okay,
humble opinion.
Wow.
First game was good. Everything else.
I think 2 was good. I think 3 was horrible. That's me.
3, everything from 3 on was just atrocious.
I have not played.
The Game Boy Color one was really good.
I've not played Phantom Pain, but I heard it's really good.
I don't know if you played this one, but the NES version, wow.
You mean back when it was just Metal Gear?
Yes.
Right.
That was awesome. HD version on that one, buddy.
No, thank you. I'm good.
I had fun with it.
So yes, his full quote from Twitter is, "Finished the mix for the trailer. Like last year, this trailer contains no explosions, collapses, destruction, gunfights, car chases, or people mobbed by reporters, nor any zombies, aliens, or giant spaceships. Just men descending into madness. A lot of fans said the 2013 GDC trailer was tough to watch. This one may be even tougher."
Oh, jeez.
So it means we're just going to have more horse stealth. That's really what it is.
Remember the original end of Evangelion? Where we just watched a guy go through a nervous breakdown without a budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking this is going to be the video game version of that. That's going to be the video game industry's version.
I still have to watch the remakes of that. Everybody says they're good. I haven't.
The remakes of what?
Evangelion.
Oh my god, they're amazing.
1.1 and the 2.2 and the 3.3.
They're crazy good. I mean, it changes everything, and quickly. Like the first episode, the first one, it's a recap mash of the story, and then by the end of the second one, you're like, what? You know.
So in other words, you're saying I should endeavor to find those and.
Oh yeah, totally worth it. Especially the Blu-rays on them; they look amazing.
Nice.
Like the animation is just freaking fantastic in them.
Speaking of other media, anyone who is even a remote fan of Firefly/Serenity.
Here we go. Sorry, it took me a while to find it. Without
there it is.
There. Nice. Anyone who is even remotely a fan of Firefly or Serenity would be doing themselves a disservice after this 6-issue miniseries, Leaf on the Wind, is done in not finding the trade.
Ouch.
This is an amazing addition to the storyline, and it's got it's a Whedon brother, of which I found out there's actually 5, but only 3 of them are in TV. But it's a third generation thing. Their dad and their grandpa were both writers for TV. It's the youngest brother, Zach. He's writing it, but he's nailing the characters. He's nailing the environments. He's nailing the situations.
But is he nailing Kaylee? Hey-o!
Hi-oh!
Well, maybe on the side. Who knows? She is an info. It's issue 5 comes out this week. Came out today, actually. I haven't gotten it yet, so I can't say exactly, but only one more issue left, and there at this point is no plan for an ongoing, if they're going to keep on doing this a la Ultimates as continuous miniseries, or if there's absolutely no commitment from Dark Horse at this point in doing a continuing series. But they are losing a major sci-fi franchise sometime here in the not terribly distant future. So
one of the other things that's a great segue, talking about disservice to Firefly, there's a new TNT television show called The Last Boat or something like that. Ridiculous. It's about a zombie outbreak and there's only one U.S. aircraft.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And the lead character looks like he couldn't act his way out of a paper bag.
Paper mache bag.
Yeah, paper mache bag. And I was like, this is so bad. And then who pops up but Adam Baldwin Jane as one of the characters on the ship, and I'm like, oh my god, he must be hurting for money. I'm sorry. You're such a good Superman voice on DCUO. I'm just sorry to see you have to take these jobs, man.
I thought his cameo in Castle was really bad, so I figured at that point...
I thought that was awesome.
I thought it was fine in that.
I thought the interaction between him and...
You're the only person who thinks it's bad. You have a grudge against Adam Baldwin. I don't know what it is.
It was Jane. It was Jane from Firefly.
It was. Yeah, if he lived in this century, yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
He would have been the dirty cop.
Yeah, he would have been the dirty cop. He would have. You're right. Okay, I didn't look at it that way. That does make me look at it a bit differently.
How could you not look at it?
I don't know.
That's the only way that I saw it, man.
That's the only way I saw it too.
I'm you know me. I don't know. It didn't meet. I don't know what my expectation was at the time, and I still don't know what my expectation was. But it didn't meet it. Maybe they just didn't hop in a spaceship and fly off into space. So maybe that's. I don't know. But he has alluded to that Joss Whedon show more than once throughout the series. So space cowboy costume in the first season. So and several other times. But anyway.
Anybody have any other news stories for this fine episode?
Do we want to plug our eventual Days of Future Past?
Yes, so next Monday we will be doing a Days of Future Past spoiler cast because Dave is taking forever to watch the movie.
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
This time.
I'm going to see it tomorrow with my nephew.
Oh, then maybe we should... Yeah, but you don't like doing it. Yeah, all right, so we'll plan on Monday.
Well, it's not happening the weekend, sorry.
Yeah. I will go so far out on a limb to say probably the best 2.5 minutes of a superpower ever utilized in the genre.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to spoil something so
No,
bad.
don't.
Yeah, don't let me
We'll
enjoy
do
this.
it on the spoiler cast on Monday.
Okay.
It's hilarious. I have a friend that I always go see. My partner in crime for all superhero movies is actually like he said he's not saying it. And
I just want to say a line.
No. You need to make him reconsider because I went in with. I don't think my expectations could be any lower.
yeah.
And this was if I was going to score it out of 10, I would say it's an 8 to 8.5 out of 10.
Solid.
No, I'm hearing nothing but good stuff about it from everybody that's seen it, like even Jaden.
And I'm not joking. I literally think the best 2.5 minutes of the use of a superpower in any superhero movie ever.
And there were actually more than one. There was a couple of them in there where, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my friend's hinging it upon the fact that there was a cameo of Famke Janssen, and he's still bitter of her casting as Jean Grey.
Oh.
So, yeah, we'll have lots to discuss in the spoiler cast.
Oh, come on. Nobody cares. They've ruined that character so bad after the third movie.
Anything that... God, I don't... It's
Dude, just play it off. Just play it off.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the spoiler cast next Monday. And other than that, other housekeeping items. Turo, if somebody wants to...
So hard.
If somebody wants to follow you on Xbox, what would they put in for your gamer tag?
Toon Monkey. Yeah,
Toon
Monkey. TEUDMUNKI.
Which is also your PSN, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Dave, if they want to follow you on social media and or friend you on the PlayStation Network.
D-Berg.
And Matt?
Yeah, if you don't know by now, come on, really. Oh, no, pretty much everything it's Neo Sapien. So, Twitter, PSN, yeah, those are the only two I can think of at the moment. But I almost never tweet, so really don't look for anything there.
Yeah, I need to probably set up a Twitter for this show.
But yeah, it was I probably should start doing that. Let's see, and then also on Twitch. I'm trying to broadcast, but like I haven't barely played games the last 2 weeks. It's been ridiculous, actually like month. And I'll have even less time to play because we are launching Gamersledge's music site. Yay! So look for more content to be coming from that in the coming weeks.
I fully expect you to talk in that voice on the music podcast. I'm just saying.
Yeah, please do.
If we ever get to having a music podcast, I will do the whole thing like this. Or with a helium tank next to me.
And our new contributor to the site will show up exactly once and then never come back.
if pattern holds true, this is true. But we do have another contributing editor who's looking to come on in. He's got some work stuff going on right now, though, so it may be a bit of a delay. And fingers crossed, I'm going to actually say it again, so fingers crossed it happens this time, but we are tentatively going to be having a live cast on Sunday at about 12:45 Central with a band. If you saw the post that went up today, either on Facebook or on the site, it is a group called Idyllic Descent. They are out of Central Florida, and they heavily 90s influenced, more rock, a little bit alternative, and they've got a 5-track EP out. You can get it on Google Play, Amazon. I'm forgetting one. Oh yeah, that Macintosh owned fiefdom. iTunes.
Edit out.
And then also they if you're familiar with Reverb Nation, that's where they have their homepage. Just search for Idyllic Descent, and they've got 3 tracks on there as a sampler, 3 of the 5. Personally, my favorite is The Missing. So I'm trying to talk them into playing that on the interview, but I don't know if I'll get it or not. So look for that. Again, that'll be this Sunday, tentatively, which is the 1st? I think it's the 1st of June, if I recall correctly. So Yeah, and we should be doing a weekly post at least to start out with, and we'll see what else we can get going over time. And I know Burgundy's got some musical interest, so maybe we can actually get him to write about music since we can't get him to write about games.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't know. His love for Mike Doughty might actually get him out of his writer's slump.
His new project was fully funded. I'm going to be in the liner notes of that again.
Yeah, other than that, if you want to follow me on PSN, it's balth. If you want to follow the site on Twitter, it's balth99. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/gamersledge. On YouTube, it is youtube.com/balth on PSN. And then last but not least, on Twitch, it is twitch.tv/balth99. Please do check us out. Like, subscribe to our videos. Until next week, play Watch Dogs, and we'll take your questions, and we'll be answering more reader mail next week. Until then, game on.
Game on.
Game on.